What is going on, Jerome's? So yes, I know that the Vikings' first night practice was on Thursday night, and instead of sweating my balls off in Egan, I decided to sweat my balls off Mankato Rib Fest because Hairball was there and they're fantastic. So yeah, sort of is what it is. I do what I want. But we got a recap of what went down at night practice. There's a lot of positives to take away, especially on the good old defense. Let's go. Let's go, man. Number one, football is back, baby. And that, coupled with the Hall of Fame game where our guy Kellermond, maybe not so much, got picked off by a former Vikings legend, Cha Surratt, formerly of North Carolina. Come on, raise up. And now he's on the Jets. Plus, not going to lie, Daddy did win a bet of the Browns minus 1.5. You know it's bad when you're betting on preseason games, but, you know. Also, DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, looking pretty good. I mean, I liked and loved him in the draft process, and I think that Jaren Hall is going to be good, and he's going to be fine, but, I mean, maybe DTR could be that dude. I don't know, but it's always so funny. Like, football is associated with cold weather and the snow and the autumn wind, but it always starts in, just like an oven. That's what we're doing here, man. It's hot, it's sticky, and sweet from my head to my feet. They didn't play Def Leppard. Anyways, so number two, it's a new day on defense. Every single unit for Brian Flores, first, second, third team, they were getting after it. They blitz, they're multiple, they disguise things. And like we said this before, teams generally just install the base or vanilla packages on offense and defense, whether it be training camp, whether it be preseason, so they don't tip off their hand for the regular season. So if this is the vanilla, the base for Brian Flores, ooh, baby, it's going to be spicy on defense, man. And we said this a bunch, like, they're not going to be a shutdown defense. Like, they're not going to be, top 5 in points allowed or yards allowed. But even if they're middle of the table, I think they'll generate plays, they'll generate turnovers, they'll generate sacks, and it's going to be great. Also, Harrison Smith, I honestly think that he has a chance to have a career season at age 34. I think that he has a very good chance to have the best year of his career, and he had some really damn good ones in the Zimmer regime. So just the fact that Flores is using him properly up at the line of scrimmage, being the sheriff up front, blitzing, and just getting it. So, I mean, watch out for Double Deuce. He's going to be good. Number three, the offense needs this. So there's been times that the offense has looked really good against Flores' unit. Other times, maybe not so much. And the number one thing has been picking up of all of that pressure. Now, the fact that Flores' defense blitzes a significant amount of time, I mean, you could say, like, whoa, that's not realistic for a game situation. Says who? Says who? Like, if teams in the regular season, like they saw that the Vikings were struggling against Flores' pressure in training camp practices or night practices, what's going to stop them from amping up the heat every single time? And also the Giants under Wink Martindale led the league in blitz percentage last year. How the Vikings offense work with that towards the end of the game. So they need better communication up front, whether it be the offensive line, working with the backs, working with everything, Kirk Cousins getting that ball out quick. And also Kevin O'Connell installing a lot more checks. So the offense does need this. It is a iron sharpens iron situation where also it should be good. It should be good to note that the defense is looking this good and sometimes stifling an offense that was top 10 last year and could be top 5 this year. So that certainly makes you raise an eyebrow. Also raising eyebrows is Ivan Pace Jr. Ooh, Ivan the Horrible. I love it, man. So first team defense, a couple of reps there. And the fact that he started training camp with the 2s, and now he's getting some run with the 1s rotationally, I think that's great. Now, I'm not ready to say that he is going to supplant Jordan Hicks or Asamoah full-time at one of the off-ball spots, but I do think that he is going to get his, and also we know that Brian Flores loves him some off-ball linebackers that can generate their own pressure. Looking at Jerome Baker with the Dolphins, looking at Kyle Van Noy with the Patriots, also with the Dolphins a little bit too. So I think that Hicks is, Ivan Pace Jr. is a player on the rise. I think he's certainly a guy who's a candidate for Mr. Mankato, as well as a guy that I can't wait to see next Thursday in a preseason game against the Seahawks. Next up, 3 deep at wide receiver. So JJ KJ and Addison, they put on a show, man. And, the Jefferson and Cousins connection has been legit all training camp, man. They're on point. KJ is certainly going to get his as well. Addison had a great toe tap touchdown in the back of the end zone. And it's exactly what you want to see. It's exactly what the fans want to see, too, where, this offense has a chance to be legitimately great. And it starts at the wide receiver position. And also Addison, like we said, he's turning that speeding issue into a positive where he's being quiet, he's putting in the work, he's putting on a show, and I think that this is going to translate over to the regular season in a big way. Also, overall, big night for rookies. So Pace Jr. and Addison, like we talked about, but also Jay Ward working with the second team. I think that Jay Ward is going to be special, man. And that's the whole thing, too, is that the Vikings defense at safety, there's a backlog of talent. There's 6 dudes, Theo Jackson included, that can bring it, can absolutely bring it. And I guess that's a good problem to have since Flores uses 3 safeties a lot. But I think Jay Ward is going to be special. Number 1, he's going to be great in special teams. And number 2, he's going to be great whenever he's put on that defense, man. Also, Jaquelin Roy got some significant run with the ones, had some great reps towards the end of the session. Jaron Hall had a couple nice scrambles, had a couple nice throws as well. A little bit overshadowed by DTR in the Hall of Fame game, but, Also, number 7, Ty Chandler reminds you, like, he is him. So the running back room is interesting. So Madison returned in full, which is good. Kincaid has been sidelined by a mystery injury. Dwayne McBride has been showing off and showing out a little bit, especially in his receiving game. But Ty Chandler, Ty Chandler is fast. He is quick. He's a great receiver. He's a multi-dimensional and multifaceted running back. He busts off a couple nice runs during night practice. And I remember he was the preseason superstar last year. He was the guy that was putting up those huge numbers. Had a great kick return as well. So I think he'll do that again. And I think that he'll firmly be in the running back mix with Madison and McBride. And TBD with Kincaid. Also some big hits. It's a practice. Talk about practice, man. But there were some big time collisions, and Flores' defense was bringing the thunder. Of course, you can't have a sack on a quarterback, but they would have racked up and stacked up a number of them. Also, Theo Jackson, speaking of great safety, so he crushed Thayer Thomas, come across the middle, forced a pick 6 by Jalen Williams, who's been running with the 2s, the UDFA slot cornerback out of Indiana. And you just love to see it, man. It's like, it's August, and it's the first night practice, but the fact that we're seeing football, and this team being aggressive, it doesn't matter if you're first team, second team, third team, you get after it and bring it, man. Then, number 9, the kicking competition might be legit. So we might have a problem. Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who is not Kroger, Schmidt, go. The night ended with field goal kicks from Greg Joseph and rookie challenger Jack Podlesny from the University of Georgia. I had Joseph 5 of 8, including 2 misses from 58, and Podlesny 3 of 4. For camp, I have Joseph 12 of 15 and Podlesny 7 of 8. Now, yes, 2 misses from 58, it's whatever. He's not going to hit a 61-yarder every single time, but, we've seen Greg Joseph miss a fistful of PATs and field goals last year that kind of put the Vikings' ass in the jackpot. And Podlesny's pretty damn accomplished. The pride of Georgia, 2 national title games, had some big time kicks throughout the playoffs. So I'm not saying that Joseph is in trouble, but I'm also not saying that either. And the Vikings did bring him back on a 1-year deal, $2 million and change. I don't think any of it is guaranteed, so maybe that could be legit, something worth watching the rest of the way. Lastly, health updates. So Madison returned in full after limping off on Monday, which is good. Daniil, O'Neal, and Hawkinson were individual drills only, but in full pads, and that's something that they've been doing with Daniil. I think they want to just ease him into the fray. And also, you know what you get from Danielle Hunter, right? And also, it's been giving them a good chance to look more at Wanham and as well as Patrick Jones second, who've looked really good with first team. Brian O'Neill, that's part of the progression, getting him back. Hawkinson. Now, there's speculation that Hawkinson didn't participate in 11-on-11s or 7-on-7s because a new deal is imminent, and then just right at the goal line didn't want to trip. I don't know. But out Kincaid, he's been out with an unreported injury for a couple days. Jalen Naylor had a great first practice last week. Hasn't been back. Davenport has been sidelined, and that's a little bit concerning given his injury history. Same thing with Andrew Booth Jr., his injury history. Tristan Jackson, no ligament damage with that knee injury. TBD what the extent of it is, but hopefully he'll be back on the field very, very soon. But that's it. That's the first night practice recap. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.